Live
She
local.
talked about
Think
institutionalizing
global.
innovation
The platform
through
is
employees.
powered.
Some of us may want to think about employing outsiders. You may want to consider, thinking about how to bring in people who do not naturally think like you. And it might even just be inviting people to come and sit on your interview panels, or just thinking about how to do things differently. I put up a job notice last week, and there was this position where everybody kept on asking, not everybody, but I think I got about 5 responses, and they said, is this position full-time remote? Or is it full-time on-site? So definitely start thinking about things like that. Thank you once again, Yvonne. Our next speaker is Niyi Adesanya. I expected that, and I paused for it. Niyi is a well-known Nigerian author, executive coach, keynote speaker, leadership development expert, and one of the foremost business and management consultants in the country. He's the CEO of Fifth Gear Plus, an innovative consulting, recruiting, and publishing firm with the mandate to help corporates optimize their potential with clients including top organizations in major sectors of the economy. Niyi began his professional career in 2005 and since then has delivered keynote speeches to several top multinationals and over 100 educational institutions across 30 states of Nigeria, speaking to an average of 2,000 youths per occasion. His accomplishments are often carried across leading news houses in Nigeria. He's a regular columnist in DreamWorks, a business and entrepreneurship magazine. Let's all give a warm platform welcome to Mr. Niyi Adesanya.
Thank you. You may take your seat. Wonderful time. Thank you, Pastor Koju and Pastor Tony. Thank you so much. But let me say this. When you come for a meeting like this and you're well prepared and then the first speaker comes up and didn't help matters, what I meant is that, there's something you try to forget in a long time and then that brings it up on the screen. And we were leading 3-0 in New Camp. And then all of a sudden they came to Anfield and you want to forget it. And I've been trying to stay positive, but you know what? It just broke my heart right here. Kudao. But anyway, it's good to be here. Thank you. My brother, Kunle Shorinyo, thank you. Charles, it's good to see you again after a long time. And then Yvonne, you killed it. You killed it. Thank you so much. Okay, I have 30 minutes, and I think it's a very tough one when people like us are given 30 minutes because 30 minutes is actually our introduction. I know what that means. So if that is the case, that means you have to choose, you have to select your audience because you can't speak to everybody. And that means I'm going to be talking to people who have longevity in mind. People who are thinking of business in the 10 years, how to survive business 10, 15 years. Because actually, you're not in business until you have crossed 10 years. Statistics have shown that there is no point celebrating success too early. Because according to the Bureau of Statistics, United States, businesses that start, in 1 year, businesses that dies is about 25%, 15%, 5 years is about 25%, and then by the time you're getting to 10 years, it's about 65%. Now, it's a little bit ugly when you go to the UK, because the businesses that start 1 year in UK, 9% dies, and in 5 years, 60% goes down the drain. And then for those of us who always think it's only about Nigeria, and you always say that Nigeria businesses die in Nigeria because of, power situation, no credit line and everything, businesses die everywhere. And in Canada, every year, they say 7,000 businesses die. So this is it's good to celebrate your first year, it's good to celebrate your 5th year, it's good to celebrate your 10th year, but actually business just started after 10 years to 15 years. And you must have that at the back of your mind. And because once you have that at the back of your mind, you know that when the money, the funds start coming in, I don't care how much the fund is, whether it's $10 million or whether it's $50 million, if you don't pay attention to some things, you may just be out of business in the next 10 years if you don't pay attention to some of the things that Pastor Paul you mentioned and then Yvonne also mentioned. But also, because of the brevity of time, I will not be speaking on the topic, I will be speaking to the topic. In other words, when you speak to the topic, you speak to the topic as if there's a problem with the topic. And then the topic here is the entrepreneur. I'm going to be talking to you, entrepreneur, because there are two kinds of entrepreneur from my own findings. You have one that is a structured entrepreneur, and there's one that is a street entrepreneur. Now, the structured entrepreneur is one that has worked probably in Covenant Nation, and they understand structure. So when they come into the entrepreneurial journey, they put structures in place immediately. But there's some guys who are the street entrepreneur. I mean, they just pushed some things together, registered the business, and then boom, they went to the market, they went to the street, and the money started pouring in. And these guys are the multitude of the entrepreneurs, and they are the proudest. Zazu kind of people, they just there. They are the proudest. You can't talk to them. They'll tell you, where was structure? When I did 1 billion. Where was structure? When I did 10 billion. Where was structure? When come on, don't mind them. Don't mind all those people. And thank God, Pastor Paul, you said listen to outsiders. Listen to outsiders. But you must know the kind of outsider to listen to. I would go into that very shortly. And again, let me say this. I saw some things that has broken my heart for some months now. Because sometimes the way we even are proud about our achievement in Nigeria, when we bring it into the global perspective, then you realize that are we really, really, really playing the global game? Are we really, really succeeding at what we said we are doing? Because when you look at it really, I think it's Enley and Partners in collaboration with the new World Wealth. They released the African Wealth Report. And then they were trying to x-ray the high net worth individuals. Now, according to Credit Suisse, there are about 56 million individuals all over the world, working population all over the world, that makes $1 million and above. So those are the high net worth individuals. But the ones that are worth $1 million and above, according to Enley, is about 20 million all over the world. There are about 5 million of them, over 5 million of them in America. But let me bring it down because I have a lot of black people here. Out of the 5 million people in America, over 5 million, is about 340,000 that are blacks. Not up to 10%. Now, it even sounds better. By the time you come down to Africa, then you realize that these 20 million high net worth individuals, you have only 136,000 people in Africa. 136,000 people in Africa. So do your maths. So could that mean that with all your braggadocious stuff on internet and trying to intimidate us with your numbers and everything, could that be that it's just a fluke and then there is nothing to your entrepreneurial journey in the first place? Now let's bring it down. South Africa has about 39,000 of those people. I think Egypt is second. They have, 16,900 of those people, high net worth individuals, people who have the wealth, not people who made $1 million, people who are worth $1 million. Nigeria has 10,000 of those people. Now, those are millionaires in dollars. So by the time you begin to look at multi-millionaires in dollars, that means people who are worth a minimum of $10 million in Nigeria, you have about 510 of them. 510. Then you have what they call the centimillionaires. People who are worth above 100 million and above. They're about 51. About 51. So what does that mean? That means one of our problems is that we celebrate success too early. We celebrate success too early. We don't have longevity in mind. We're not thinking about leaving a legacy. We're just concerned about prosperity. My car is better than yours. My office is bigger than yours. My thing is bigger than yours. That's what we're all about. But the people who think about posterity, so they know that I am not in business until I clock 15 years. Whatever happened, you take it as a fluke. You take it as, what if this thing does not happen again? Then you begin to watch it, and then you don't go into, I think Pastor Paul, you said that one of the points, that don't delay, don't overcompensate yourself. And that's the problem with the entrepreneurs in this part of the world who have the black skin. Because most of us are coming from the poverty-deprived situation, especially those street entrepreneurs. Those street entrepreneurs were poor. And then when they saw money like this, they say, today, they must take. They must take. And the money that was supposed to plow back into business, they went on a spending spree. They started staying in hotels that they are not supposed to stay, although they can afford to stay there, but they are not supposed to stay there. They start buying things they're not supposed to buy. They start tying down capital that is supposed to go back into business and provide cash flow. You don't have a business buying a house in 5 years of your business. I don't care how much you've made. You need to rent it and let the money supply your cash flow. Somebody said, cash is king, but we've since realized that there's no more king. Cash flow is king. The consistent flow of cash. Your ability to turn money around. There should not be any time when there is no money in the system. Once there is no money in the system, you're about to go to the intensive ward. Intensive ward. So, I took a journey with some set of people some couple of years ago. And then most of them, if not all of them, were street entrepreneurs. Thank God they were humble enough to submit themselves to an outsider. And then one thing I realized that kept them going, which is universally researched, is that, I did something. It's called one of my templates, because I work with templates. I have about 4 or 5 templates that I work with. Some of them are based on scriptures, 3 John verse 2. Some of them are Luke 6:18. If you read from the Message translation, some of them are from Matthew 25 from verse 14. I mean, those templates, you may read it and not see the template that I'm talking about anyway. But I'm just trying to tell you. But there's one that we also use. It's called the mace procedure. The mace procedure. And look, those guys got results within a short time. Now, listen to me, please. Listen to me. Look at me, please. Look at me. I was not planning for them to get results within short time. I didn't. It was not part of the strategy. If they have asked me, I would have said, wait for 2 years, wait for 3 years, because this thing is not abracadabra. But the interesting thing is that within 6 months, the results started showing. And do you know how we knew the result was showing? They didn't tell me. Their friends saw it. Their friends. They were going to meet them. What happened to you? I knew you 6 months ago. I knew you 8 months ago. I knew you last year. Something happened to you. Cut me some soap. That was what he was saying. So they got them, they came to meet me, and there's one very interesting story that came, and then one of them called me and said, there's a guy, one of my guys has been troubling me, but you know what, this is my strategy, this strategy that we are doing together, I don't want him to be part of this group. So I said, don't worry, we'll chase him with money. So when the guy called me, I doubled the fee that he paid, doubled it. And the guy said, let me call you back. So when he called back, he offered me the money. Then I had to call the other guy. You see, this guy that we want to chase, but I say, I don't think we will chase him. We just have to admit the two of you somehow. But you know, I've signed an NDA with you, and you can be sure that your strategy is safe with me. And I had to just agree the guy to come in. That's how much of a result this got. Now, when you look at it, the MACE procedure, the first thing there is mentor, a business mentor. See, you need somebody to keep you in line. You need someone to keep you in line. You need a business mentor. Check it out. Or give me anybody, whether in Nigerian market, Nigerian industry entrepreneur, or global. I will tell you who their mentor, business mentor is. You know, when I was talking about this one time ago, sometime in a long time, somebody talked to me and said, no. Even Elon Musk didn't have a mentor. He read the books to be able to come up on how to create spacecraft. I said, go and check the story very well. The guy who shared the story and told everybody how Elon Musk read textbook to be able to create spacecraft was identified as Elon Musk industry mentor. Did you get that? It was his mentor that was telling the story. So you need a mentor. And please, before you write that down and start running away with that he said mentor, we've had it before, mentor. I am not talking about the Ponzi scheme you call mentoring. Yeah, it's a Ponzi scheme. Any scheme or any group that pays the people at the top and the people at the base are not enjoying everything, but they are contributing, is a Ponzi scheme. It's a Ponzi scheme. Now, let me submit to you, when we say mentoring, you always can go with the idea that, okay, I know about this older. Any group that is more than 120 people is not mentoring. It can be a tribe. It can be a community. Call it anything. But please don't call it mentoring, because you actually don't know what mentoring means or what mentor means. Any group. Even Jesus Christ did not even try to have 5,000 people. The Bible told us that he has the 12 and he has the 70 disciples. Let us dash him 120. Then I said 120. The upper house, when the Spirit came in upon them and they started speaking, they had 120. So he had 120. Let us dash Jesus with 120. That is the man without spirit, no measure. Even Moses was going to attempt it. His father-in-law had to call him that. They said, relax, guy. You can't survive here. And then we're trying to break it. I was trying to look at the calculation. How did he break those people down and everything? But you know what? The scripture just answered my question. Because when God took the Spirit upon Moses, he could have spread it to 2,000 people. You know that? He could have given it to 5 million people. You know that? He's the owner of the Spirit. But he decided to drop it on 70. And that's the law, dispensation of law. You look at the dispensation of law, you look at the dispensation of the prophet. The sons of the prophet that was waiting, when Elisha saw Elijah going and got the double portion, the Bible says they were 50. They were 50. So 50 plus 70, Jesus, 120, grace, let's dash them like that. So, but this is it. Who is a mentor? Now, before you go all, let me say this. You've taught us well that when you want to know the meaning of something, you have to go to the place of first mention. So by the time you now go to the place of first mention, then you now realize that the word mentor is not an English word, it's the name of a person. So by the time you start looking at this person, how come, what did you do so well that you became a philosophy, you became a teaching, you became something that we now had to sit down and start teaching people about it, then you have a better understanding of what mentoring meant. It's the old Greek mythology that, you know what, Odysseus that was going to fight the Trojan War. When he went to fight the Trojan War, you know, he had to take his son, the crown prince, Telemachus, and handed him over to his friend, Mentor. And said, you know what, Mentor, I don't know how far I'm going. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm going to come back. You guys are ahead of me, please. Okay, good. Don't worry. When I need the slide to change, I will let you know. And then, you know, he said, I'm going to the war, Trojan War. And according to history, it took him like 40 years to come back. So he handed his son to Mentor, teach him, bring him up in the things that he ought to know. That tells you something. Number one, mentoring is relationship-based. Relationship-based. Now, mentoring also means continuous and contact. That has been breached with technology because I can be in America and I still have easy contact with you on a regular basis. I can still be that. But in relationship and contact. Mentorship is foster fatherhood. So all this idea that they teach us that you don't ask for your mentor's help or you don't ask for your mentor's money or when your mentor give you money, don't take it. Is bladderdash. Because how can you be my foster father and you won't pay my school fees? So the only thing is that you don't ask for it. But if you're offered, take it. But it doesn't end there. It doesn't end there. Hey, it doesn't end there. My time is flying. Now, it doesn't end there. Now, this history also taught us, based on the story, that it wasn't mentor that was actually doing the job of schooling, teaching, and you know what, helping Telemachus. It was Athena, the goddess of wisdom, handicraft, art, and war, that would take the form of mentor and appear before Telemachus. Before you go on and say, this is my mentor, that is my mentor, and everything, please ask yourself this question. Are they playing the role of God in your life? Can they open doors for you? Look. The bottom line of everything that will be said today is that you access privileged information. But you see, the smaller the gathering, the deeper the privileged information. What will change your life is not general information. It's privileged information. Privileged information, privileged relationships. And I can show you. Or we all shout Bill Gates. We shout Elon Musk. We shout Jeff Bezos. By the time you look at all those people, they have privileged relationship and they have privileged information. Bill Gates' mother was the director of a bank. His maternal grandfather was also a director of a bank, owner of a bank. Jeff Bezos, maternal grandfather, was one of the few people that gathered together. The United States Army put them together and they started talking about the internet. And then Jeff Bezos spent his early years with his maternal grandfather. If you are the one, you have been studying internet, you know how this thing will blow. What will you be telling Jeff Bezos to be studying? Medicine. Privileged information. And then if you don't have people like that, like me, that we were born into a poor family, then you know that you have to do everything within your power to get that business mentor and get how you can connect with them. What do you need to do? Number one, you need to bring productivity if you want to attract them. Productivity like never before. Productivity. 2, you need to be visible. And 3, you need to come with gifts whenever you are in their presence. You know that your case is very, very, very critical because these people have advantage. We don't talk about it in public. But behind the scene, there are serious advantage that they have that most of us do not have. Look, you can get, they will tell you raise fund. This fund, I did $1 billion, I did $2 billion. You see, there are some nitty-gritty thing behind the curtains. And until you get that, you may not be able to access what is there for you. So that's about mentoring. You need to know, and you say, look, when you say wisdom, and the craft, art, and war, that's entrepreneurship. That's entrepreneurship. In other words, Antenna, the goddess Antenna, was the god of entrepreneurship. Now, your mentor must supply you wisdom. Your mentor must be able to get their hands dirty in your case. Number 3, your mentor must know the heart of strategy and go along with you. That is the external person. And then they must be able to go to war with you. Look, by the time you cross a particular number, you begin to make some particular money, whether you are in Nigeria or anywhere, the authority will flag your account. They will investigate you. And I always tell people this, most of the time, don't try to go under the MRI machine. Because most of the time, you may discover something, something may just be discovered. So you need your mentor who's there for you and can go to war with you. Go to war with you, be able to put a call through, and probably give you a soft landing. They will use their relationship to your advantage. There is nothing abusive in being used. Nothing abusive. Abuse comes when use is not mutual. So any relationship that you have, that you have been investing in, calling them your mentor, but they've not been able to call you in 3 to 6 months, is an abusive relationship. Abusive relationship. And when people say, I'm a very busy guy, sorry, I didn't return your call. No, that's not what they meant. What they meant is that you are not on my priority list. Because if their wife called, they will receive it. If their sons called, they will receive it. If somebody called, they will receive it. So once you have been calling, they can't return your call, look for someone else. Probably when we get to the, the breakout session, I'll be able to talk more about that. Then I did a study also on prodigy. So, you can call me your mentor, but am I calling you my prodigy? It has to be mutual. So you can say my mentor, but are you my prodigy? And the word prodigy also is not an English word, it's an old French word. Look at it. And it said, its meaning is that to protect, in other words, one who is protected. Protected. One who is protected. And again, look, God, one thing is this. As the leader, as the entrepreneur, you are the strategy. The strategy is not in the board meeting, not in the boardroom. You are the culture. Because sometimes we may have some brainwaves and discuss some things in the boardroom. If your heart and your mind is not stretched enough to be able to contain it, you will box it, and you will drive us away. You will drive our ideas away. So as an entrepreneur, you must know when the organization is changing and when you're supposed to supply or when you're supposed to evolve in your leadership. And that is where most businesses fail. Because they judge the success of their organization based on the money that they are making, based on the fund that has come in. That is not how you judge the success of your business. The success of your business is judged by how you as the leader is evolving and changing, because at every point in time, there is a demand on you to evolve. Operations. You start a business, trading, you sell, you make money, you do all those, you keep your inventory, but there's a time that comes that you need to change and begin to do operational management. Then you begin to manage all the side around the operations. The culture, the structure, the reward and the metric system, and the financial system and everything must be managed. But there's a point you get to, you can't stay there forever. If you stay there, you will miss it. So you have to move away from operational management to operational leadership. And operational leadership is where the key is. You can never move forward until you get to operational leadership. Operational leadership is not managing the system. Operational leadership is managing the people that manages the system. You must manage the people that manage the system. Why strategic leadership is not about managing people. Strategic leadership is about managing ideas and ideologies. And then you now get to the last one, which is sophisticated leadership. I tell you, once you cross 10 years, there will be a demand on your sophistication, your leadership sophistication. There will be a demand on it. One of my clients, doing very well, billions. Recently, it was in one of our meetings, and he said, my asset, it was very braggadocious, because he told everybody to switch off their phone, except your phone, except your business is bigger than mine. So we're saying, do you know we are billionaires here? Everybody was saying, no, mummy. Then he said, my business is standing on the asset of 750 billion naira. That is any account a billionaire anywhere. So there was a time this guy's business was almost failing. Went to a crisis that was national. The government came for him. And then when we now put his leadership, because we wanted to help him, we now realized that his leadership was not sophisticated. It was strategic. He knew what to do. He knew how to conjure all those things. But he has not built enough relationships. There was nobody we could call upon. There was nobody who knew him. Elections were taking place. He didn't make donations. Our way out was for us to get him a lawyer that is not just technically sound, but a lawyer that can make a call to anywhere. Sophisticated leadership. So much to say, but my time is up. Thank you.
Covenant Nation.